Here's a story. Growing up in Indianapolis, your father is killed when you're just 4 years old. By the second grade, your mother joins the military and you're sent to live with your aunt. You quickly turn to the streets after your aunt makes you quit sports, earning quite the reputation as a hustler, businesswoman, madam, and murderer. Being picked up for over 7 homicides. But there's one story in particular that stands out above the rest. An old friend that tragically lost her life in an unsolved case. She was set up and invited to strip at a home, but unfortunately, she wouldn't make it out alive. A car registered to your name is found fleeing the scene. A dispute about her sleeping with your then husband was alleged to be going on, and her dead body was found in your ex-husband's backyard. You're picked up and questioned by police, but if this was something that you did, then why almost 10 years later haven't you been convicted? Trappin Anonymous.
If you didn't sign up to be a police officer or detective, let them do their job. Exercise your right to remain silent. Seek counsel.
What's good? My name is Chris Styles. This is Trappin Anonymous. Welcome back. Shout out to everybody that's helped keeping the movement moving. We really do appreciate you keeping us viral, keeping us, on the scenes, and these stories bringing it to the forefront. Talking to our people, talking to our communities. We don't like to villainize here. We think everybody's story deserves to be heard. I think this is another one of those stories. If you have a story that you want to share, you're sitting at home watching us on here, you DM me at Trappin Anonymous, email me at Trappin Anonymous, and we'll get your story heard. To remember that the stories that you hear reflect real life. They're here to educate, inform, and keep your little homie off the streets. My name is Chris Styles, Trappin Anonymous. Let's get it. How are you?
I'm good.
I'd like to start with your name and why you think your story is important.
My real name or my stripper name? Okay. I'm gonna be serious. Why you start laughing? This is Bonni Drip.
Bonni Drip.
Yep.
Why do you think your story is important?
I think everybody's story is important. I think it's just important for people to hear more than what social media put out there so that they can understand, like, when you peel everything back, that we all real people.
Absolutely.
That I've probably been through similar shit.
Right. I like to jump right into it. 14 years old, you get picked up for a murder.
Mm-hmm.
How does a 14-year-old even get questioned for something like that?
Just being outside, being around certain people, entertaining things that I probably shouldn't have.
Do you feel like, well, one, how did it impact the people around you?
It affected my family, like, financially in a negative way, because we big on seeking counsel and not talking to the police and shit like that. And I did a lot of shit growing up that, like, my family had to pay for, but we always just kept it simple, like lawyer up. That's where it probably came in the most as far as affecting them financially. But I think it probably was embarrassing to them a little bit too, different shit that I was doing. Getting arrested, I done got picked up in schools and shit like that. And just people knowing, like, that there's this stigma around what they think I am because I didn't clear shit up when I was younger. So I think that it probably just affected my family in the aspect of their reputation and how they would have liked for me to be viewed, and then financially.
Okay. For a 14-year-old, that must be something extremely traumatic. What did you feel in those moments when they came to get you? I guess when you had to sit down in an interrogation room or...
Traumatic for me?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't explain it like that. It was more so I remember it being traumatic for my mom. Because my mom, she not cut like me. Love my mama to death, but she not cut like me. Some people can't handle certain things. You could put them in certain spaces and that'll break them. I never looked at it like I'm in here with this concrete and this is about to break me. I never had a thought in my mind like I'm not going home. So the first time that I got locked up, when I was 14, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't nothing. I knew that I'm not going in here to say nothing to y'all about anything. Whatever y'all say, I already knew the mind games that the police play because it's been embedded in me since I was a child. I've seen it happen. I've seen the police do fucked up shit to people, so I knew I wasn't gonna talk to them. It was the process that they took that more so probably would have broke down a lot of 14-year-olds. Like, they put me in the same rooms that they filmed First 48, and they had me chained to the ground. And then every couple hours, they'll let my mama come in there to talk to me. And she kept begging me to tell them this and that. They kept on drawing out their pie chart saying, like, this portion of the pie makes sense, this portion don't. And then I finally got tired of them coming in there saying shit to me because I'm just looking at them, not saying nothing. I said, I'm tired, I'm about to take a nap. I just put my head down and went to sleep in the interrogation room, chained to the floor. They had me in there for probably close to 8 hours.
14 years old.
Yep. It didn't scare me though. Like getting arrested, being in there, it didn't scare me. They took me to where adults be at though.
Did you know what happened?
Absolutely not.
When's the next time you was picked up for murder?
When I was 19. I think I was like 19.
How'd that go?
They didn't have enough to charge me with anything, so they had to let me go because I told them I wasn't talking to them without counsel.
When's the next time you was picked up for murder?
Shit, 20. Then I got picked up again on to Arizona. I think I was 21. Then shit. The last time was like 2021.
About 5 times?
A bunch of times. I've been arrested a few times.
Never been charged?
No.
How?
God, shit. I feel like I'm protected. And I just know how to maneuver when it comes to handling street situations. I'm not gonna say nothing to incriminate myself or nobody else. But I'm not an asshole to the police. So I'm not one of them people that's gonna be cussing at the police or trying to play mind games with them. I'm gonna just keep it simple. I understand you have a job to do, but this is my life that's at stake. I know you're not here to do anything nice to me. You're here to do your job. And your job is to incriminate me. So I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna fill in the blanks ever for a police officer.
You familiar with pretty privilege?
Yeah.
How do you think that plays a part in your life?
I think that it makes it confusing for people to be able to read me because a lot of people when they think of pretty women, a lot of them they don't got their head on their shoulders. So I think people definitely judge me initially off of the way I look, and then when they hear things, they can't like fathom me being like all these different people. So I think that it confused people a little bit. I think that you are able to use it for your advantage in a lot of situations, for sure, because I've experienced it. But
yeah, I agree. I agree.
It's a gift and a curse, though. Some people won't, like a lot of people probably think I talk to this person, that person. A lot of people won't even approach me. Because the way I carry myself and probably the way that I look, I'm just like a no-nonsense type of person. And when you see that type of person, like you could tell I love myself by the way I carry myself, by the way I walk, by the way I hold my head up, the way I have conversations. And that's intimidating to a lot of people. It's not that I'm hard, it's not that I'm masculine, it's none of that. I love myself. And I'm not gonna allow anything to come in that's going to shift that.
Were you always violent?
Depending on who you asking. I don't feel like I'm a violent person because I'm not the one to be starting shit, but I do take things overboard. I always been like that since I was a kid.
Did you grow up in a violent environment?
I've been in violent environments, yeah. But it was like certain parts of my life where I was in good environments, so my whole shit wasn't just fucked up, but I was bounced around a lot.
You told me, you just previously said as a kid, you had these instances where you had to be violent. Can you speak on any of those?
Off the top of my head,
Sure.
there's nothing I can say that's PG-13, so I'm gonna say no.
This isn't a PG-13 show.
Yeah, but I gotta keep it PG on that.
Okay, for sure.
But if we talk about it, depending on when you're saying violent, I'm thinking of all different sorts of things. But hell yeah, I done beat the fuck out of people, broke their nose, knocked teeth out, made people have seizures like little boys that used to be fucking with me in middle school. The little boy kept shooting me with a BB gun, so I'm just like, bro, I really got hands on. I beat your ass, like punched him right in his temple. He started having a seizure in front of everybody. I like got a different type of rage when I get upset. I can control it a lot better now, but as a kid, if you fuck with me, I just prank out. Like, it done been a lot of times where I ain't even had to punch a motherfucker or none of that, because I just choke the fuck out of them in front of everybody. They pee on themselves. They get scared. Like, just depend on what the situation is. But I remember I was pregnant with my son. I thought my cousin's girlfriend had stole something from me, and I now found out it was my cousin that actually did it. And I beat the girl up so bad. But she was a stud, though. I beat her up so bad. And to this day, she still be talking about that shit. That shit was so over 10 years ago. I threw her head through a wall. And I'm pregnant. She don't even know. She hit me the wrong way. I'm out of breath and everything, but I'm not showing it. Kicked her in her stomach down the steps. She had to go to the hospital. I'm pregnant. I ain't had to go to the hospital. And that's something that, like, to this day, I really feel bad about. Because then I found out it was somebody else that really should have been for, and that girl really felt some type of way. I beat her up real bad. So it's not like I don't got a heart. It's just like, damn, I'm going off what somebody I love saying, and the whole time they lying. Different shit, like crazy shit.
I don't know how to.
I feel, if hopefully she see this, it's like, nah, I did not mean that shit.
Yeah.
But then it's like, after the way I did her, it's gonna be hard for somebody to just be like, all right. Like, if I call my cousin right now, she gonna be like, she still talk about that shit to this day.
Did you kill animals as a kid?
No.
You ain't kill no animals?
I love animals. I'm the person that save animals. I actually volunteer at animal sanctuaries. I've always had a love for animals.
Okay.
I'm the person that's like, I see a little bird on the street, I'm not gonna let it die. I'm that type of person. I'm not fucking with no animals. I'm not no sociopath.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna be, let's be frank. They label you the serial killer on the internet. Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
Absolutely not. I don't know where that came from.
Right. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Don't you agree?
In certain instances,
Not in this one.
absolutely not.
I mean, I went down the rabbit hole. I really did.
The rabbit hole.
Yeah, I went down the rabbit hole, and
That's why you thought I was a stripper?
yeah, I saw that you were a dancer. I saw that you was a stripper.
And that was completely false
Never danced.
in my life. You know what's crazy? I don't even like people touching me or being in my energy, so that wouldn't be a profession that would be good for somebody like me, because I'm disgusted by people. So when I hear people saying that, it doesn't even bother me, because I know they wish they could say that about me, but I've always been a hustler. I always knew how to get money without doing some shit like that. Nothing against people that choose to do that, but they wish they could say that about me and it was true. Because that's what that specific person was, that even came about, that rumor.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be in the strip club and like all the guys be like with the other women and like leaving you there because they were so afraid of your demeanor.
I'm straight.
Just be like
I'm
intimidated.
And then it's like, no, they look at my body and shit, they assume that, but it's like, nah, that's not me. It's cool, but it's not me.
You mentioned the other person. Mm-hmm. Angie Barlow. Mm-hmm. The deceased.
I think so, yeah.
If you look at social media, all the fingers point to you.
What fingers? Social media fingers?
Social media fingers.
Twitter
correct.
fingers?
Twitter fingers.
That's it. That's all. That ain't nothing.
Your car was seen behind hers.
I don't know who car that was in that video. It's just like a black car that could have been similar to a car. I had 5 cars. I don't know what car that was.
I watched the live where you spoke about. You said there was actual footage of you in a McDonald's with her the same day.
That shit was so long ago, but I do believe so, yeah. The police got that. And that only came about because they tried to make it seem like we was into it or something like that. Like this person would never be around me. So that's why that came about.
How did you feel when you heard that she had passed?
I don't know. I don't remember how I felt. I don't even remember how I found that shit out. I remember I was working a regular job. I was engaged at the time. We always was having fun traveling. And then this one night you wake up and then you just see flyers of yourself everywhere. Like, people thought I was dead. They thought, because there was so many rumors and shit. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like, my phone ringing to the point where I couldn't even make a call on my phone. I remember just cutting my phone off. Like, why y'all calling me with this shit? And I was just like, from there, that shit just blew up.
What was your relationship like?
Who?
You and Angie?
It's an open case. I don't want to speak on it.
Sure.
Good or bad, they gonna try to flip anything that I say. And I take every interview seriously because they gonna go and watch this. They watch everything that I do. So I had to tread very lightly because they'll flip anything into something that it's not. Especially because there's a race issue there too. So anybody from Indiana know that that same day, there were 7 people that went missing. The other 6 were black. 2 of them were college educated. The 6 black ones got no news press. Here we have a white girl that was a dancer and she got all this news coverage. You can go look it up, it's record. Nobody else got news coverage, so you gotta tread lightly. And that's a racist state at that.
Yeah.
They done tried to pay people to make up shit that's not true, all different type of shit.
I was listening to your music, and you got this one line. And after this, I won't bring up nothing else regarding, right?
All right.
And you said smoking on Barlow. That wasn't AI. I heard that.
AI is the thing now.
I know AI, and I know what I heard.
You heard that?
So why would you?
Why would I say that?
Why would you say that?
Because when you have a group of people that have tried everything in their power to tear you down and feel like they are affecting your life in a negative aspect, they have no idea the type of power and drive that some people possess. And so I made up in my mind long before that I'm going to turn this into a positive. There's nothing about me that I'm uncomfortable with sharing with anybody. I'm 100% comfortable with myself. And they're not going to control the narrative of my life anymore. They act like this is something that's not public record, X, Y, and Z. They just don't like the way that I carry myself. I'm not somebody you just going to trip on the street. So when it comes to that type of shit, I flipped it into a positive. So then when it came out again, they do this every few years, make up all this shit like I'm hiding who I am because my name is Bonni Drip on social media. Everybody know my name Raven Miller. I ain't never hide that. I said it in my song. It's public record. Like, y'all go so far to even go see when I really got divorced and X, Y, and Z. Like, these people feel like they know something about me with anything that I post and they don't know me. So I don't really care what they tried to spin it off to be. When it had came back out again and people started saying all this different stuff, all it did was make all my favorite people in the industry get in contact with me. Nobody wanna follow somebody or listen to their music when their backstory is not believable or they haven't been through nothing that's relatable, X, Y, and Z. So that's how I spun it into something positive. And I just don't care. Say whatever you want to say. Because y'all made everybody start fucking with me.
Right.
Because they can't even believe that somebody like me exists. Because none of y'all be standing on nothing.
I watched, you had moved to Arizona.
They say what they want. I'm going to say what I want.
100%. 100%. You had moved to Arizona. $1,500 in your pocket.
I had lost everything.
People saying, you know, you were on the run. People saying, you know, you had to hide out. In Arizona, they tried to tag you with another murder of a young guy, dark-skinned guy. It's just like keep following you.
What's following me?
I don't know.
I got God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my angels.
Because that's the flip side, right? Like, if someone was really who they say that you are, I don't think you have that much good luck in the world, right? I don't think that. I don't. That's the God honest truth. I don't think you're that lucky. I think, you know, you would have obviously been at least picked up, charged, something. I mean, it's been 15 years of accusations. But I will say, it's a little suspicious. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Like I will say, and I'm laughing not because this is seriousness that comes with what we're talking about here. It's a real seriousness that come with it. But it's sort of like you got this. I was telling you this earlier. You have this thing about you where it's like you're really jokey. You have like a bunch of jokes, and then you have this really serious side that you just can't read. So I laugh because I don't know what to do, right? I don't know what to do, right? It's sort of trippy. That wasn't a question either, but just
I
feel
know.
free to. Yeah, but do you feel like it's following you? Do you feel like anything negative is following you?
I feel like positivity follows me. If anything comes into my path that tries to harm me, I'm going to do what I have to do to protect myself. That's how I feel. I feel nothing but good energy around myself. I feel blessed. I believe in God. I didn't ever look at no situation like I wasn't going to get out. They can say what they want. Again, I'm not going to fill in the blanks. But I think even when it comes to me being arrested and being interrogated or just in a room with them, they don't know how to take me either. Because they looking at social media or the things they hear and they're expecting me to look a certain way, talk a certain way. They also bank on us being uneducated. So when you have somebody that know how to articulate themselves, that's the aspect that people see that they feel like is intimidating or there's something wrong with you, or when you exercise your rights, you're hiding something. I'm not hiding anything. I'm just not elaborating on anything either.
Where's mom and dad?
Both of them are deceased.
How, if you don't mind speaking on it?
My biological father, he was killed when I was 4. And then my mom passed a few years ago. So when people hear me say dad, like as in the person that's still alive, that's my dad, Sean. So he signed my birth certificate because he thought I was his when I was born. And then my real father knew that I was his, but he went to jail for a couple of years. And then when he got out, he got killed a little over a month later. So he never got the opportunity to be in my life the way that he would have liked to. And I know because he's came to me. And I used to be very uncomfortable with the situation because when I go around my real father's family and stuff and I call my dad, who's still living, dad, They say shit like stepdad, and I always been pranking out on people since I was a kid. It's not your place to speak on who I'm calling my father in a way that I feel it's already complicated for me to navigate through as a child. So I was checking adults as a kid, and then people just stop doing this shit because they don't want me to say nothing about it. It's a very confusing situation. Like, you never really knew your father. You just had a couple memories of him, and then his whole family is like triggered by you calling somebody else dad because of the way that your biological father was killed.
What was your biological father's charge?
His charge, it was like a drugs charge.
Okay.
But my dad had bodies though. He was definitely with the shit.
Now, how do you know that?
Because I know a lot of people love my father. Told me a lot of different things about him. I read letters that he wrote. He wanted to change his life though. I know that's not who he wanted to be, but the environment. He been in situations before where people tried to kill me, but he made it out. Well, not kill me, but kill him, but he made it out. So I don't think my dad wanted to be that person. It was the environment.
If you could say anything to him right now, what would it be?
I always talk to my dad. I feel his presence around me everywhere. On the way up here, I kept telling my manager I'm seeing all my angel numbers. That be my mom and dad and the other few that I won't name, but they always be with me. I feel super connected to him spiritually. If I tell him I need to get anything done, he gonna do it.
At 5 years old, your mother had you call your stepfather
Mm-hmm.
and tell him that he wasn't your dad.
Mm-hmm.
He has 2 other children with your mom.
Mm-hmm. You did your research.
That's my job. He has 2 other children with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
And so you not being his sort of crushed him. I could only imagine. And for her to have you deliver that message.
Cause my mama was hurt. So to my understanding, they was young. My mom started cheating first, and then when my dad Sean found out about it, he started doing his own thing. But initially, like when I was born, even though my dad that's living, he's brown skinned, I'm light skinned, I had hazel eyes and stuff. His mom looked just like me, so he didn't think nothing of it. He thought I was his, and he thought my brother and sister was not his because that's when my mom was quote unquote cheating. So he says. But I saw both of my parents cheating on each other. So they did the shit in front of us. They made us sit in other rooms while they was fucking other people. I done sat in the car next to them fucking other people. So it was very toxic seeing all this shit growing up. So I don't know who started, and I'm not gonna put the blame on this person or that person, but I know I witnessed both of my parents cheating on each other. So when it came out in court, I remember being on a stand as a child. I think I was 8 years old. And all I said was what my mom told me to say. My mom told me to lie to them people. So that's what I did. I got up there, I lied, said what she needed me to say. By the time the fraternity test came back in, genetically, I was not my father's, but my brother and sister was. That's what shocked my dad more than anything. But I can say this, he's never treated me differently. I'm closer to him than any of his kids. And I was so close with my father to the point where a person that I love very much started making up rumors that my dad was having sex with me. And that was 100% false. My dad has not ever did anything sexually to me to make me feel weird or uncomfortable, anything like that. So that's how I'm saying that to explain how close I was with my dad. Like it wasn't a day that went by that I didn't see my dad, even when I didn't live with him and my mom when they separated. Wherever I was at, my dad would always come see me, talk to me. He talked to me about stuff he didn't talk to nobody else about, and I was his child. So I carried a lot at a young age. And that's why people were saying that.
Any physical or sexual abuse growing up?
Once. from my cousin Jarrell. I was in the 2nd grade. I think he was in middle school.
7 years old.
Yeah, I was a baby. And I remember that moment just like feeling so disgusted. And I didn't have my parents there to help me. My mom was out with friends partying wherever she was at, and she left us with people that are, even though they blood related, they just not the type of people that you should trust. And my mom, when I finally told her in the 6th grade, she said, I remember picking you up and you were crying, but you wouldn't tell me why. And I held on to that until I was in the 6th grade. And when I told her, it just crushed her. Because she had went through a similar situation with her stepbrother when she was a child. And it always hurt her a lot that, like, even after this became public, people in the family still to this day allow that man to be around their kids and everything. And he done did it to so many people in the family. So I know my mom never wanted something like that to happen to any of her children. And then the fact that I didn't say nothing for so long hurt her more too.
And you said by Jarrell's grave, he passed?
No, Jarrell, he's alive right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see him again. His mama beat the fuck out of him when she found out. She just passed last year, but his mom beat the fuck out of him when she found out that he did that. And they asked that I want to press charges and have him arrested, and I told him no at that age.
Wow.
Because I 100% know that people that do that type of shit, they got it coming. Yeah. In whatever way that is. And I remember when I was 16, my grandmother had passed away, my great-grandmother, on the 4th of July. And we was like at her little repast, like after we had her service. And that specific cousin walked up to me and was like, what's your name? And I looked at him in his face and I said, you know exactly who I am, Jarrell, in front of everybody. And I walked away. Because that was like, it had been a long time in between since he did that to me, from him seeing me then when I was 16. But you ain't gonna ever forget looking me in my eyes and knowing what you did to me even though I was a baby.
What did that do to you?
It started making me feel like something was wrong with me. It made me feel like dirty. It made me feel like this like spirit was put on me that I didn't know how to get off because I didn't have an outlet. I wasn't comfortable talking to my parents about it or family members, X, Y, and Z. It was just very uncomfortable. And it also started making me be sexual with myself at a young age. Even though I wasn't having intercourse, I was masturbating at a young age. And I just wanted to stop. Like, it wasn't it'll be like I'm outside playing and I just get this feeling to go do this and I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? So it used to bother me a lot. I remember we had like a jacuzzi tub in my house on, it was between 10th and 16th Street on Keeling in Indianapolis. And we had a jacuzzi tub, and you know like how the Jets, like they got that on there. I used to have my little portable DVD player watching porn and shit at a young age and making myself have orgasms off the water coming out the Jets in the tub. And I just used to hate that feeling of just not being able to control what my body is wanting me to do because somebody done did this against my own will. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, as a child, it's embarrassing to talk about that shit. It's embarrassing. A lot of people don't have the type of parents that can articulate things where a child can understand how to process something like that. So that's when I tried to kill myself because I just felt like I can't get this monkey off my back. Like sometimes I'm masturbating 2-3 times a day and I'm a baby. So I didn't want to make myself suffer. I tried to shoot myself with my mama's gun and it jammed up. Then when she found her gun later and realized it was jammed, who was playing with my stuff? We all denying it, but it was me the whole time. And then shortly after that, I told my mama that he had did that to me.
When that gun jammed,
I started crying even harder. I was pissed. But in that moment, I knew that there was no way that a divine energy didn't step in and stop me from doing that, stop that from happening, because there's just no way. And then looking back, I'm like, I was just like so unsure of myself because of these different things that I've went through, that I couldn't even see like the person that I was gonna grow into. And then I remember we was in that same house that I used to do that at. There was this guy named Ejante that lived right down the street. And while my mom had went to the grocery store one day, he came down to my house. He must have been watching. He was older than me. He kicked our door in and started choking me, trying to rape me. Yeah. And so I was fighting him off, telling him my mom about to come home. And I always been like the person that if I'm in a situation where I might get hurt, I'm going to stay calm. My grandma always told me that. She said, you always going to have your pussy, but you ain't never going to get your life back. So if somebody want to rape you, just let it happen. I agree with that in certain ways, and in others I don't. If I can maneuver out this situation without you violating me like that spiritually and doing that to my body against my will, I'm going to do that. And I made this vow to myself when my cousin did that to me as a child. Nobody was ever going to do that shit to me again. So he didn't get a chance to rape me, and on top of that, I was still a virgin. But he was like, you better say that your brother kicked his door in. I didn't blame it on my brother. When my mama got home, I told on him. He got arrested. He went to jail. I'm not blaming that shit on my brother. And I told his mom everything he tried to do to me, choking me, all that. I was in the 6th grade.
Where is he now?
I don't know where he's at now, but I remember seeing him probably like 5 years ago when I visited in my city. He was at a gas station. I don't even know if he'll recognize me to this day, but he'll remember getting arrested for that shit, and he'll remember what he tried to do to me. And now, my response to that type of shit is just totally different. Ain't nobody about to violate me if I could get out that situation.
You said that you would be in the car.
Mm-hmm.
While your parents are having sex with other people.
Yeah.
How?
Like, I remember being in Walgreens parking lots. I'm not going to say which parent, because I seen both of them, but it'll be a car parked next to us, like a truck or something, and the people they cheating with, they over there fucking in the car, and me and my brother and sisters in the car for 3 hours while they talking, fucking, whatever they doing. Seen my mom point guns at my dad, put wash rags on it when we came out the room and seen it. Seen my dad wasn't the type to just hit a woman, but my mama used to be putting her hands on him, and then he'll get tired of it. And I seen him smashing her legs in the door and like the basement, fucking up each other's cars, like all type of stuff.
Did you experience domestic violence in your relationships?
A lot of them, until I pinpointed why I was attracting that type of energy, and now I don't anymore.
What was the worst sort of domestic violence situation you've been in?
Shit, all of them. It was like, almost every relationship I ever been in, the person I was with was putting their hands on me real insecure, but we'll be fighting though. It ain't like you about to just beat me up. Like, we'll be fucking each other up. But I think the worst part was like being pregnant and going through that, because you experience so many different emotions, and then me knowing who I am. I'm trying not to off you because we got a kid together, but like, stop playing with me though. And then having them feelings too, I don't want to fight you at my full capacity because I don't want to hurt my baby either. So I think that's the worst part, is just feeling helpless in those moments where it's like you want to fuck this motherfucker up, but you don't want to hurt your baby in the same breath. If I'm not pregnant, like, yeah, but I'm still not finna fight no grown-ass man no more either. That's just like shit I look back at like, how the fuck was I going through that? Toxic as hell. I found a picture of me and my son, dad, and I was like, I showed it to him. I said, you remember this? I said, look at all my nails. They was broken, bleeding in the picture. We still went to Master Lab the next day and had our pictures taken for my birthday. After we was just fucking each other up. I'm talking about he must have swung on me in the car, and it was in front of his mom's house. I'm like, I'm finna fuck this nigga up. So I just started going crazy on him. Somehow his head ended up in between my legs, and I was squeezing as hard as I could, and I'm punching him, calling him all type of bitches, like, you gonna quit hitting me, whoop-de-whoop. He passed out. I'm like, damn, I think I just killed him. I had to go upstairs and get his mama. I'm like, Marius outside, he can't get up. She like, what? She come outside. She was like, she checked on him, he had a pulse. She was like, he'll be all right. He shouldn't have been putting his hands on you. He woke up, he was like, gasping for air. She was like, his equilibrium's off, Raven, just let him get. I was like, damn, that was my first time knocking somebody out for real. But it was like a combination of me cutting his ear off and punching him at the same time. I was like, damn, I thought I killed him. And then I'm like, damn, I ain't mean to kill him, but
You ever watch somebody lose their life?
no. I held my grandma's hand when she took her last breath. That's about it. Crazy.
Okay.
You crazy.
I guess, what was that experience like?
What? My grandma?
Mm-hmm.
We was in a hospital, and it was packed with like all our family and stuff, because we knew that like my grandma was on the verge of passing away, and she was in a state where she couldn't talk, but she could hear us. And I was holding her hand because I was like somebody that she would call every day. Me and my cousin Darius, we was like, every day we seen our grandma. So I'm holding her hand, I'm whispering in her ear. The only person we was waiting on to get up there was my son Marius. His dad was bringing him up there. And so I'm telling her, just hold on, Grandma. I'm talking in her ear. Marius is on his way, X, Y, and Z. She always called me Butterball. And everybody had their own nickname, but she called my son Butterball #2 because she was like, I can't think of nothing. He looked just like you. So then when my baby got up there, I whispered in her ear. I was like, Grandma, Marius is here. And that was her last breath that she took. She took like a deep breath, and then she just flatlined. And that's when everybody started crying, literally right when I said that to her. Oh, go ahead. I was going to say, and to elaborate on it, I don't feel like death has affected me in a negative way, even though like death is going to always be around. That's the only thing promised to us, is that we're going to die one day. I think the fact that death doesn't bother me the same way it does other people, that also makes people assume things about me. But the transitioning process doesn't make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think I just handle it differently than other people because I know it's something that's inevitable.
You ever had a near-death experience?
With myself?
Yes.
Where I feel like I might die? I ain't gonna lie, this is the only time I really felt like, aside of being in crazy situations and shit, the only time I really thought I was dying was when I had to get transported from my job to the hospital because I had kidney stones. I ain't gonna lie. I was on the ground at work like, damn, this is how I'm about to die. I started calling my family, like, tell my kids I love them. My baby was like 6 months. I'm like, damn, I'm about to die. I felt like somebody was stabbing me. I never heard of kidney stones. I get to the hospital. They like, well, you're not dying, but you have 17 kidney stones. I'm like, what?
Well, like, sugary drinks.
I thought I was dying because it made me get dizzy. It made me get nauseous. It felt like I was getting stabbed in my side.
Yeah.
That's the only time I really felt like I was dying, like for real.
What was it like being a teen mother?
It taught me a lot. But you know, I had my son on purpose. Because I've been on, I would say 14, I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. 15, I was all the way outside. I had did so much shit that people probably never did in their whole life from age 15 to 17. Like, I went and got my first car off the lot when I was 15. They wasn't even supposed to let me get it. I didn't have license, insurance, or none of that. I paid the man some money under the table. They gave me a car off the lot, a Toyota Camry.
How are you getting this money?
I was doing all type of shit, wiping people down. I had bitches, selling weed.
I had bitches. What does that mean?
I think it's a statue on there, but I had bitches. Like, we was getting to it. I had somebody show me the game.
At 15?
Yeah, and then I was putting my older cousins on to money plays and shit. all my older cousins, they'll tell you about me. Like, I'm the one that was putting money in their pocket or putting, like, we finna go do this today and get some money and shit like that. It was certain times, like, when I was a kid, I'd make $500 a day, $1,000 in a day. Like, I was making a lot of money at that age. I tried to do it the positive route, go and apply McDonald's, little shoe jobs and shit like that. That shit wasn't nothing. That shit never worked. I didn't get a real job on paper till I was 18. But all of that shit made me feel like I didn't have nothing to live for. So I had my son on purpose. And then, like, becoming a mother started helping me to grow into a grown woman for real. But as my son started to grow, I looked at him in a way like, this is my partner in crime more than it is my child. That's how it felt. So whether a lot of people want to admit it or not, your relationship and your bond that you have with each of your children is going to be different. And what I thought was going to change me as far as the way that I maneuvered in life or make me feel like I'm complete, it did the opposite. So I felt like that initially, but then he started growing up. I'm like, damn, how I'm going to lead my son into a man? I started thinking about a lot of different shit. And I was thinking all the wrong things. I don't want my son to go through the things that I went through or be this person, X, Y, and Z, but he has a lot of characteristics that are just like me. So if I don't show him something different or keep him busy, he will get into the shit that I got into. I saw a change when I had my daughter. That's when the love inside of me changed. That's when I got that warm feeling. That's when I felt like I gotta do shit different when I had my daughter.
What's good? My name is Chris Dowd. This is Trappin Anonymous, and I'm here to talk to you about the #1 credit building app, and that is Kickoff. GETKIKOFF.com/Trappin. For that first month, you can spend $1. That's 80% off of our original price. $1, and you can start your credit building journey today. Kickoff is the only way to go. I know you want that house. I know you want that car. I know you want to get into that new whatever it is. Maybe it's clothes. Maybe you want to invest in something. You got to build that credit. We even got a rent reporting system. Imagine your credit building because you're paying your rent. This is things that you're going to pay anyway. You have to pay anyway. Why are you not receiving credit for that? GetKickoff.com/Trappin. I'm telling you, build that credit score for things that you pay for anyway. The best part about it, you can sign up and you can cancel at any time. You don't have to be chained up or hell bent or hell bound to this. No. And if you don't like it, guess what? You can cancel it. Like I said, with over 1 million people using this app right now, the #1 credit building app in your app store right now, smartphone, log in, tap in, build that credit. I got faith in y'all. This is Trappin Anonymous. My name is Chris Dowd. Let's get it. Late payments may negatively impact your credit score. Individual results may vary. I don't see a tough person when I look at you.
You're not supposed to. I don't carry anything that I've been through. I think that's what throw people off too. I don't carry it.
But I just also see how vulnerable you are.
In certain spaces, I can choose to be vulnerable.
Yeah, I appreciate your vulnerability now. I guess mainly what I'm saying, because yeah, it's one, it's not easy. Two, you have to feel comfortable too, and Raven, that young girl inside of you, like I see her.
Yep.
And I want other people to see her too. I don't know what you did or what you didn't do, I do think your story is important though. If there was something you could say to young Raven, what would it be?
If it wouldn't be something specific that I would say to the younger version of myself. I talk to myself a lot too, as a kid, as an adult and everything. So I don't think it would be something specific that I would say to myself, because When I tell you everything that I done ever did, mistakes I made, things I went through, good, bad, the uglier, after it happened, slowly but surely, I would get clarity on why this happened. And I think that when you have like a purpose on your life that's like going to change other people's life and it's going to be something good, I think a lot of times those people don't have like easy upbringings. It's rare that you hear somebody that just say they had this great upbringing, who have a calling on their life to do something greater that's going to affect a lot of other people. Because if we don't go through things, we don't have testimony. So that's why you see a lot of children that are given everything, to have a silver spoon, they're unappreciative. They don't have any respect. They even hate their parents. People that go through things appreciate things more. They understand life. They don't take things for granted most of the time. They're always looking for areas in their life where they can grow. If everything's given to you, then you don't have no room to grow. So I'm just like, dang, I'm constantly evolving into who it is that God wants me to be.
You ever hear ghosts?
Ghosts?
Spirits?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What have some of your encounters been with like spirits?
All different types of things. Like so many times, like if somebody around me get killed, or somebody that I'm close to, somebody that they love get killed. In the spiritual realm, I feel like spirits know who is like 1 foot in the physical realm and 1 foot in the spiritual realm, because there's an energy, there's a gift that's placed on certain people. So spirits know who they can communicate with, like as far as being an open portal. And people have shown me who killed them. They've given me details on the feelings that they felt when they were getting killed, thoughts that they had, words that they said, initials of the people that killed them. A lot of people can act like they have that gift, but all these things that I'm telling you, it's like people be like, that's crazy. How did you know that? Like my family already know now. Before somebody die, I be telling them somebody around us about to die. Not that I was fearful of, but I've encountered spiritual energy that I knew was demonic. I've encountered spiritual energy that was obviously negative, that I knew was not supposed to be there. But I know how to cleanse myself of that type of energy. That type of energy is not allowed to attach itself to me. But I definitely know when it's in a room. I can show you videos of like shit moving around me, toys talking on command when I say certain people's names that are deceased. Fuck people up. It don't scare me though. Like, because I've been dealing with it since I was a kid. I won't even say dealing with it because that sounds like something that I don't like, but I really do think that it's a gift and I'm appreciative that I have that, because it gives me like certain abilities in situations where I have the advantage, because a lot of people don't have that ability to read people energy, see things on them, touch them, and feel things that they did. So I think that it's a good thing. I'm not afraid of encountering negative energy, but I know how to maneuver through it.
Any regrets?
None. The only thing that I can say that I really truly regretted in my life was 3 days before my mom had passed away. I was in a relationship at the time. I made him stay outside in the car because my mom wasn't comfortable with people seeing her sick like that, because she didn't look like her normal self. And she asked me to go get her some cigarettes from across the street and a Pepsi. And I'm sitting here like, Mom, like, you sick. You don't need to be drinking Pepsi, and I'll get you some cigarettes tomorrow when I come back on this side of town. And she was going back and forth with me for a minute, like, can you please just go get me some cigarettes? It's right across the street. And I just thought I had more time with her. So because I was used to my mom being sick at that point and used to her getting better and then getting sick again and getting better. So I never would have imagined. Like, she was so frail, I didn't even want to hug her too hard. She was so frail from dialysis. I never would have imagined that she would have died. That's the only thing I could think of in my life that I truly regret, was not going over there so that I could have like spent more time with her.
Do you forgive your mother?
100%. Because I understand life. I understand that sometimes we in situations where we don't make the best decisions when it comes to us being parents, people, period. And I think you have to grow to understand why your parents made certain decisions. My mom hasn't did anything so crazy to the point where it's like I wouldn't want to talk to her. She done did some crazy stuff, but I love her to death, you know, and it took me getting mature to be able to view a lot of the things that she did that way. Because we didn't have the best relationship growing up. And then I was like for 8 years, my aunt actually raised me. So majority of my little upbringing, my aunt raised me. Intermittently, I tell my aunt, like, I want to go live with my mom just because I'm a kid. Naturally, you're going to want your parent. It wasn't that my aunt was doing anything wrong. It just wasn't the same love that you feel from a parent. That's all it was. It was just that simple.
And why couldn't you go be with your mom?
Well, when I was in the second grade, going into the third grade, I went to go live with my aunt because my mom went to the Army. So I went with my aunt, and then my brother and sister went with our dad. And the reason why I went with my aunt was because biologically my father was deceased, so my aunt felt like they have the living parent, they can go stay with their living parent. And that was just because my mom went to the military.
You told me you were quite a good wrestler, good at sports.
Oh yeah.
And
Wrestling, football, basketball, softball, I stayed in sports.
there was this one moment where you could have been on a team, and I guess your aunt didn't allow it.
Yep. I was in middle school. I was in the 8th grade, and I wanted to be on the wrestling team. And you know, I had to go through like 2 weeks of like practice, and then we had to make it through tryouts, everything. I was the only girl, but I was bench pressing like my weight in middle school. I was way stronger then than I am now because I was always active. And when I came home and told my aunt, like my coach even tried to convince her, like, she's really good, X, Y, and Z. We'd love to have her on the team. She wouldn't sign a permission slip, and she wouldn't buy my uniform because she wanted me to be a cheerleader. And I remember being in a McDonald's drive-through by our house, and my aunt was on the phone with my mom. They was going back and forth. My mom's like, if she wants to do it, just let her do it. She'll be fine. And my aunt Cheryl was just like, I'm not paying for it. I'm not taking her to practice. She just didn't want to see me doing it. And I never told her to this day, like, that's something that hurt me. That's something that altered me from being positive to doing all type of shit. Was I couldn't be myself because you want me to do something that I don't want to do. And I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to do something that I actually like that's going to help me have an outlet. But it wasn't what she wanted me to do. I don't think she intended on it being something that was going to have a negative output or input, whatever you want to say, on my life. But it definitely affected me in a negative way, just that one little decision, because that's when I got outside.
What are you doing now? I see your nails. you was a nail tech at what point? I seen you, had some nail shops, franchise. Real hustler.
Yep.
Real hustler. I see music. What are you doing, and where are you going?
I'm still doing nails. Just because like that's where I get my money while I'm traveling and doing all this, but I don't want to own shops anymore. Too much responsibility. And I felt like I had to let that go so that I could focus on my music. And I'm just full throttle with my music right now. Aside from that, I take care of my kids. I travel a lot. I paint, I hike, I fish. I work out like 4 to 5 times a week. Heavy on my health journey. Other little things that I do. I stay in the studio when I can.
Yeah. I'm smiling because we got this drill artist with a background that'll make you cry. And you do nails.
Yeah.
It's like the most
started-
girly. It's like the most girly thing.
But look, I started doing that as a kid though. I started like designing little nails at 12 and stuff. By 15, I was messing with acrylic. And it was like, if you could show me a way to make money in a positive way, I'm always going to choose the positive way versus going to do something stupid for my money. It's just sometimes you're not around people that show you how to get your money in the right way. And nails is like a blessing for me. I used to get tired of it when I was younger. So I quit doing it for a couple of years and I was working a corporate job at Geico. But then I was like, one day, like, fuck this. I'm tired of doing this shit. And nails created a space for me to be free. And still, it's like you still hustling because every time you working, you getting money. And it's like a lot of nail techs get into a bag. It's just like selling dope. It have been days like I wouldn't leave unless I made $1,000 in a day doing nails, especially when COVID hit and everybody's getting their money. I was taking all their money.
So you made $33K in a month.
That first month when COVID shut everything down, all them nail shops was closed. I made $33,000 off nails.
I don't even care if you got a little cough at that point. When it is.
I think I had already had COVID like right before all that stuff came out.
Yeah, same.
Because I was in a hospital and they kept testing me for the flu and that's not what it was. But COVID hadn't came out yet. And there was a lot of people in the hospital that was sick. I'm like, damn. Then a couple months later, they said COVID was out. But it felt like I got hit by a car. I'm talking about I couldn't eat. I couldn't move. It was terrible. I think I had it, but that was before it kicked off.
I'm thinking now, like, of your baby father between your legs and you passed out. You was a wrestler. Like that, you was
Man,
really, just the kind of stuff that you was.
He a Golden Glove boxer. I'm not about to straight up square up with that man. I beat him up because we was in a car fighting. But me just straight up going toe to toe with a man like that, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to do something that's gonna give me an advantage.
What's some advice that you would give somebody that was picked up by the police for, I don't know, murder? What's some advice that you would give to them?
Let the police do their job. If you didn't sign up to be a police officer or a detective, let them do their job. Exercise your right to remain silent. Seek counsel.
This is Trappin Anonymous. My name is Chris Davis. Let's get it. Excellent. Excellent.
He funny.